Good Monday morning, everyone. I'm Elise Edie, and thank you so much for being with us today here on the stream. If you're streaming with us on Fox Local, you can do so on YouTube and on TikTok as well. So I'm going to be logging into those to follow some of your comments. You might have some questions about what you hear, and hopefully we can address those if we're able to do that. But let's begin by getting you to some of the local headlines that we're following for you here in the Metro, beginning with this one. A man was arrested Saturday afternoon following an hours-long standoff. This happened at an apartment complex where two Atlanta police officers ended up getting hurt. So this started around 7:30 a.m. when officers got reports of gunfire at a complex that's in the 2400 block of Cheshire Bridge Road. So once they got there, officers found signs of gunshots in the apartments, and they went in to investigate what was going on. So while clearing the residence, a man opened fire from a back room. So one officer was grazed in the head by a bullet. Another sustained shrapnel wounds from that. Both of those officers were taken to Grady Memorial Hospital, but they've since been released. So that's certainly some good news. Following the standoff, though, that lasted for several hours, the shooter, identified as 23-year-old Alante Ray from Stone Mountain, was taken into custody at about 2 p.m. So here's what we don't know about this situation. Police say it's unclear if the man actually lived in the apartments or why exactly he was there in the first place. A neighbor living next door to that unit told Fox 5 that police evacuated him about 30 minutes before the incident began. He says he was unaware of the shooting until he heard officers outside. And he spent the afternoon just kind of monitoring the scene like I think most of us would, looking through his doorbell camera, trying to figure out what was going on. Footage from that camera showed officers repeatedly knocking on the door and ordering that suspect to surrender. So here's what's next. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation has been called in to lead the investigation, and we're told this is standard procedure for an officer-involved shooting. So certainly quite a scene there that happened in Atlanta. And now on to this one. Authorities captured an accused child molester who escaped from the Troup County Jail Sunday morning. This is Christian Joel Marcos Cortez. He's 20. He escaped from the jail property at about 4:42 a.m. That's the word from deputies. So they got a tip that he might have been traveling to Ackworth, and at about 9:20 p.m. he was captured by Cherokee County Sheriff's Office deputies. He'll be taken back to the Troup County Jail here soon. So he's booked into jail June of 2025 for child molestation. Investigators say he was able to walk out of the jail through an outer door and then climb the fence in order to leave the property. An internal investigation is ongoing to try to figure out how it was he was able to leave in the first place. Again, that's a big question that still needs to be answered. Something else we don't know, law enforcement still investigating again how he was able to leave, looking for answers into what happened there to begin with. And now on to this. Jury selection expected to begin today in the trial of Colin Gray. He is the father of accused Apalachee High School shooter Colin Gray. So Gray faces nearly 30 charges, including second-degree murder. The prosecutors allege that he provided his son Colt with the gun that was used in the 2024 mass shooting, despite knowing that his son could pose a threat. 4 people were killed in that shooting, according to investigators. And the case here centers on whether Colin Gray bears criminal responsibility for allegedly supplying the weapon. The trial is expected to draw significant action as jury selection begins. All right, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security has reportedly completed its purchase of a Metro Atlanta facility. It intends to turn into an immigration detention center. This is the word from officials. So the city of Social Circle is saying that it's been informed that DHS has completed its purchase of this industrial warehouse. And this sits at, 1365 East Hightower Trail. And the news comes after Representative Mike Collins told city leaders the federal agency was in escrow for that warehouse back on February 4th. So he said it's certainly coming. City leaders report ICE plans to start housing detainees at that site as early as February, with agents planning to detain up to 10,000 people in the facility. So despite the purchase moving forward, Social Circle leaders and also Representative Collins are saying the city's infrastructure, they don't believe it can support a facility of this size and the number of that number of people. You know, you're talking up to 10,000. So a little bit of of the backstory here. City first learned of DHS's plan to buy the building back in January, and it was the Washington Post that detailed the proposal for this in order to renovate industrial warehouse facilities to hold up to 10,000 people before deportation. Social circle leaders, many of them not happy about this. They're saying they've not been included in the process or conversations about the project. They've requested that DHS provide them with some information into what's going to be coming here. But again, this could be opening up as early as April and housing up to 10,000 people. Well, the body of 27-year-old Nathan Murray Smith, a local performer known professionally as DJ Slade, was found after he was reported missing earlier in the week. Fulton County Medical and Examiner's Office has confirmed. So on his official Instagram page, Lil Jon issued a joint statement with Smith's mother, Nicole, and here's what he wrote. He said, "I'm extremely heartbroken for the tragic loss of our son, Nathan Smith. His mother, Nicole Smith, and I are devastated." And the news has really shaken the tight-knit Milton community. In fact, Friday afternoon, mourners started leaving tributes near the site where Smith was found. Sabrina Burnell and Maya Regrino live just a few miles away from there, so we were able to check in with them as they dropped those off and just get some of their thoughts. But officials say the body was recovered in a pond near Smith's home at about 11:53 on Friday. This was by the Cherokee County Fire Department there. Sky Fox 5 was up over the scene so we could see that there was a search underway, and a big crowd was, to gather to try to carry this out. An object was carried to a nearby tent. We saw that happen, and then dozens of first responders were observed at the park before that discovery was made. So Smith was reported missing back on February 3rd. He left his home, left his cell phone behind. His family super concerned. They said that he was disoriented at the time of that. It was later confirmed, who he was, that he was the son of Atlanta rapper producer Lil Jon, real name Jonathan Smith. Fulton County Medical Examiner will perform an autopsy sometime today. The cause and manner of death here haven't been determined just yet, but police say they don't believe there's been any foul play. Detectives, though, are still looking into this, just trying to figure out, what happened, and just a really tough case there for the family, but for the community as well. Well, a 10-year-old boy, now to this one, this is a pretty shocking one, 10 years old, and he's fighting for his life right now after being shot in the chest at a southeast Atlanta home. This happened early Sunday morning. Atlanta police right now are searching for 3 suspects who allegedly left the scene of that shooting in a silver car. So police spoke about the incident. They spoke about what happened. Let's listen to that.
Located a 10-year-old that suffered a gunshot wound to the chest. Once the officers saw that the 10-year-old was in critical condition, we applied first aid, we applied chest seals. We do want to commend the officers for doing such a fantastic job. With the assistance of the fire department, we were able to transport that child to Grady, where he's currently under surgery right now. This does appear to be, based on our preliminary investigation, a targeted incident based on 2 individuals that had an escalating dispute. We do encourage our followers and our listeners to call Crime Stoppers if they are familiar with this incident. Right now, we are looking for a total of 3 suspects, and a silver sedan is what we've been told on the scene. So again, if anybody is aware of any incidents that they know of these particular suspects or this particular vehicle that we're looking for, we encourage them to call Crime Stoppers.
Questions. We'll start right here behind me with Brian.
And they shot at the house from the outside. It did not occur inside.
They did shoot from the house. Based on our preliminary investigation, it does appear that those 3 individuals got out of that silver sedan and walked up to that house and shot from the outside into the home.
You're going to go to my left.
Do we have a license plate number for that?
Right now, we don't have a license plate number. This is still an active investigation, and we are looking for that particular tag and the make and model of that vehicle.
And was the child a girl or a boy, do we know?
It is a male child.
Channel 11.
Do we know where they targeted when they shot? Did it go to their bedroom, the child's bedroom, or living room, kitchen?
The suspects, the individuals, when they got out of the vehicle, they shot at the house. And so it appears that the house sustained more than several amounts of damage to the home, but it was all over the home.
Ray. It's Ray's turn. Ray.
Hey, do we know what type of munitions were used? Was this like an assault rifle, semi-automatic rifle? Do we know that yet?
But the amount of rounds that we did count, it appears to be a semi-automatic type style weapon. Right now, again, under investigation, we don't have all of that right now.
Back to Brian.
Do you know where the child was in the house?
Right now, that's still under investigation. So as we get more information, we'll be able to let you know at a later time.
How many people were in the house?
A total of 5. We do know, and what's most alarming is that there were 4 children under the age of 10 years old in the home. Yes.
Are any parents facing any charges or in custody this morning?
Not right now. Again, this does appear to be an escalating dispute between parties. And this looks like, again, they came to target that particular home. And it's, again, unfortunate that the kids were in the home. 4 kids under the age of 10 were in the home.
CBS Atlanta.
Was there, I'm sorry if you said, was there anybody else hit or just a child?
Just a child.
11.
So we just can't confirm any relationship between the people inside the home and these 3 suspects, if they knew each other?
No, not right now. Still ongoing investigation. Yes.
Ray, last question.
Yeah, so you all transported the child to Grady. Is there any reason why you all transported instead of via ambulance?
Yes, we realized that time was of the essence, and the officers did a phenomenal job of trying to save this child's life. And so, again, with the assistance of fire, the officer thought it was best that we go ahead and transport that child to save his life. And right now, that child is stabilized, and so we're happy to report that.
Thank you, everyone, for updates. Just visit the website, atlantapd.org. Thank you.
All right, hearing from Atlanta police with that. But we want to turn our attention right now to Douglas County. Authorities have made an arrest in a shooting that left a 19-year-old woman dead. So they're speaking about it right now. Let's listen in.
4, 5, 6. All right, we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. My name is Tavarius Pounds. I am the Lieutenant Colonel here at the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. Tavarreus Pounds, Pounds. Ready to rock and roll? All right, I'm going to have this picture up in just a second. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office is investigating a homicide that occurred Saturday, February the 7th, 2026, shortly after 1 p.m. in the parking lot behind the Dollar General, located off of Central Church Road in the Kings Corner area of Douglasville. At approximately 1:17 p.m., Douglas County 911 received a call reporting shots fired in the area. Deputies responded immediately and located a female inside a vehicle in the parking lot behind the business. The victim was pronounced deceased at the scene. The victim has been identified as Lyric Latrice Farley, 19 years old, of Carrollton, Georgia. Ms. Farley was also a student of the University of West Georgia. Through evidence collected at the scene, witness statements, and video obtained from multiple locations in the area, investigators developed information indicating the victim and the suspect were known to each other and had a prior personal relationship. Investigators identified a suspect as David Mark Anthony Powell, 20 years old, of Douglasville, Georgia. Evidence obtained during the investigation indicates that the victim and the suspect met in the area following a disagreement, and during that meeting, the victim was fatally shot. During the course of the investigation, deputies and investigators utilized surveillance video, investigative leads, and technology resources to locate and stop a vehicle on Interstate 20 near Highway 5 at about 1:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. Mr. Powell was located in the vehicle at the time of the stop and was taken into custody without incident. Based on the evidence gathered, David Powell has been charged with murder and aggravated assault and is set to go before the Honorable Judge Cynthia Adams at 1:30 p.m. today at the Superior Court of Douglas County. Search warrants were executed as a part of the investigation, and evidence was secured. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office has recovered multiple firearms and has impounded vehicles believed to be connected with the investigation. This remains an active investigation. Additional follow-up work is ongoing, and further details will be released when appropriate. If anyone has any information related to this incident, they would be encouraged to contact investigator Austin Shippey at 678-486-1251. This is a picture of Mr. David Powell.
Can you email that to us?
Sure.
So can you tell us the relationship between the suspect and the victim? I mean, is his girlfriend, boyfriend? Are they relatives in crime? I mean, give us something.
All I know is they had a personal relationship. To what extent, I'm not sure.
So did they ever date?
Again, I don't know what type of personal relationship they had. They had a personal relationship, whether they were friends or dating, I don't know.
How long had they had this personal relationship?
I'm not sure about that either, ma'am. This is still an open investigation. There's still a lot of moving parts that we have to figure out.
Okay, was this young man known to you before? Had you arrested Mr. Powell before?
No. No, ma'am.
Can you talk a little bit about how much it helps to have you said surveillance cameras? These cameras kind of help you to power. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of that in solving cases like this?
It's a great help with helping apprehend suspects, but it wouldn't, they do what they're supposed to do, and it's a great thing to have, but if it wasn't for our people that were diligent and working, hard working, and giving up their time away from their families, this wouldn't have happened.
So how were you all led to Powell?
The good old police work and modern technology and the combination of both of them.
Was Powell also a student at the University of West Georgia?
Not that I'm aware of, no ma'am.
How old was he?
20 years old.
When you're investigating a case like this, student, University of West Georgia, just kind of on a personal note, for officers who are investigating this, how difficult is a case like this, just kind of on a personal level?
I mean, you never want to see anybody, especially a young woman like that, get hurt, get injured, but I've got kids, so you put yourself in that place and you feel compassion for them and the family, and you want to not try to put yourself in that position, but you do understand, and I couldn't imagine what that family is going through, so our thoughts and prayers are going out to that family.
And she was actually living in Carrollton on campus?
I'm not sure if she was living on campus or she was living with a mother or whatever, but she's from Carrollton, I know that much.
Was Harley by herself during this incident, or was she with others?
Yes.
Yes, what?
She was by herself or with others?
Still on the investigation, so right now we'll get back with you at a later time once we do some more digging.
You did mention that they were in a dispute. Can you tell us a little bit more about the dispute? They decided to meet?
No, ma'am. That's all the comments I have for now. When we get some more information, we'll get it out to you. Thank you.
So we just heard a lot right there, but was able to gather from what he was saying. It looks like they've identified let me find what I'm looking for, guys. I had the name down, but my story has disappeared. Okay, the victim here is 19-year-old Lyric Farley. They also released the name of the suspect. They said that he is expected to have a court appearance today. Here we go. Okay, that is David Mark Powell of Douglasville. He's 20 years old, and like I mentioned, he is scheduled to go before a judge in Douglas County today. So just getting the very latest on what happened, that 19-year-old tragically killed in Douglasville. Well, still ahead for you this morning, we are going to turn our attention to the World Cup and talk about something a little bit different that's happening. If you like entertainment, then I think you're going to like this upcoming change, so make sure you stick around. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so do Americans do entertainment better than everywhere else? I would say so. I think so. I think many of you would agree with that. So how is the upcoming World Cup leaning into that? We got some answers for you now. We have World Cup Atlanta Host Committee Ambassador Kevin Egan joining us to chat about this. So it's good to have you on the stream.
Great to be
Hi.
Here, yeah, great to be back. I'm excited.
I
The
know.
World Cup will be studying the Super Bowl last night. Everything from the beginning of the game to the halftime show. The overall production was absolutely phenomenal.
You like that?
And now Fox have it this summer. Fox have the World Cup. We're going to have the World Cup final in New York, New Jersey at MetLife, and we have our first ever World Cup final halftime show.
That's okay. So I think my mind is blown on this, Kevin, because I can't believe this hasn't happened before.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, here's the thing, Elise. We're very traditionalist, let's just say, right? We're a bit buttoned up in the soccer world where we sit, we watch the 45 minutes, we go to the bathroom, get your refreshment, analyze the game, sit back down, enjoy the next 45 minutes. It's not walking around. I go out to the Battery to watch the Braves sometimes, and everybody's walking around the entire game, you know, enjoying it. Whereas in football, soccer, calcio, call it what you want, it's a bit more rigid. So this, for the traditionalists, is going to be a bit of a shake-up. I'm not sure how it's going to be received, but I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, well, and it makes sense. I mean, if you're going to do this, then why not do this in America, right?
I think so.
Like, let's do it.
In New York, give it that Hollywood glitz and glamour, you know, bring a bit of Broadway to the beautiful game. And I think now the speculation is out there as to who it's going to be. Because for the Super Bowl, Bad Bunny was announced, what, 4 or 5 months before?
Yeah,
we're kind of there now.
Right.
That's where we're at now with the World Cup.
So, I mean, has there been, do they know? Do they know? I know you don't know, we don't know, but do they even know yet?
If so, it's the best kept secret there is right now. I mean, if you were a betting person, all right, which I'm not, but if you were, I would say Shakira's a great show. Because Shakira's got the, you know, she can speak Spanish, she can speak obviously English as well. She's got the Waka Waka, the La La La. She's got a lot of the great World Cup songs for Shakira over the years. How about Taylor Swift, though? Wrapping up the Eras Tour. And there's no bigger platform than wrapping up the Eras Tour and going straight into a World Cup final. That is the biggest platform of all.
And that girl has been worldwide, too.
Big
you
time.
know, the world tours that just sold out.
And you have to think about what it means for them, too, the artists, because the World Cup final, this World Cup final will hit, I would imagine, close to 2 billion viewers around the world.
Oh, my God.
So the Super Bowl will be shy of 200 million. Worldwide.
To put it in
World Cup final, 2 billion. Like the World Cup final in 2022 when Lionel Messi finally won it was over 1.5 billion people.
Oh my
so
gosh.
we're expecting to build on that again for the World Cup final here in America.
That's wild.
Isn't it?
That is
so
wild.
Every artist would want to do this.
Yeah.
As long as it's being produced. Oh, and one quick thing. Chris Martin of Coldplay is curating this. So he's the one behind it. He's working with the production company and he's the one basically. So you can imagine it's going to have that big stadium feel like the Coldplay gigs do. So I wonder who he's got a good relationship with.
I know. That's maybe what we should be doing a deep dive into that. So let me ask, you know, you being an insider in the world of soccer, what are people saying about this? Because to us, kind of like what you mentioned, to us this makes perfect sense, but you mentioned, you know, there's a lot of traditionalists, so like what is the conversation surrounding this?
I have so
How's it
many
being
friends,
received?
Honestly, I have a lot of friends who are, no, we can't do this, we can't do that. I'm of the opinion that sport is entertainment, right? And even as broadcasters, we've got to find a way to be entertaining, we've got to broadcast it, have fun with it, and this is only going to add to that. As long as there's time on Fox to obviously analyze the game and make sure that the real purists out there are fed what they want as well at halftime, but then bring on the musical acts as well. Like, I'm not the biggest American football fan, but I watched last night. I couldn't wait to watch the halftime show. I want to dive in and enjoy the whole experience of it. And I think that's the exact same with the global game. By the way, soccer is now, according to The Economist, the 3rd most popular sport in this country, eclipsing baseball.
Really?
Recently, yeah. For popularity
huge.
With leagues around the world. Obviously, the Premier League, the Liga MX, the Mexican League is huge, Major League Soccer, which I broadcast weekly. I think the sport is growing, and now for FIFA to capitalize on that momentum with the World Cup here in the US, it's going to be a fun summer, especially on Fox, with all the games on Fox. It's going to be amazing.
So fun. So do we see this being maybe the way things continue on, or do you think this is like a one and done as far as adding this entertainment?
I think that FIFA president Gianni Infantino has an incredible love affair with the United States and entertainment, and making this feel as blockbuster as it possibly can. And that is, I think, what's going to happen this summer. Who knows who it's going to be, you know, whether it's Bad Bunny and he goes again, or it is Shakira potentially, or Taylor Swift, maybe a collaboration with all of them. But it's going to be the biggest World Cup of all time, 48 teams, and we've got 8 games in Atlanta, including a World Cup semi-final. So for perspective, Atlanta, Georgia will have probably 3 to 4 times the global viewership on the semi-final than the Super Bowl last night.
Goodness gracious. gracious. I mean, it blows your mind when you put it like that. It really does. So I'm in the TikTok chat just to see if people are throwing out ideas, and there is one on this. I'm seeing NBA YoungBoy should perform. I don't know that that's going to end up being what happens.
I mean, it's the global
Maybe.
game. So
Yeah.
bring in different artists from all different genres, from all over the world.
Yeah.
Have them all part of it. Like we saw Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin come out last night. Like, bring people in from afar and different genres and make it happen.
Yeah, it's certainly an opportunity to do that. So I hope they take advantage of it. Okay, so just to kind of, generally go over things right now. So we're still several months out, but I mean, the wheels are turning. Like, we're really not that far out from the World Cup.
Not at all. We're approaching 100 days from the 8 games here in Atlanta. That's 8 different Super Bowls. Think about it that way. And we know 7 countries that are definitely coming, which, to run through real quick: Spain, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, South Africa, Uzbekistan for the very first time, Haiti, and Cabo Verde, as they say. So that's the 7. But soon, at least next month, we're going to find out the 2 more teams that are locked in for Atlanta. And then, of course, we'll have the knockout stages, which will add more teams. But the 2 more teams, I'm kind of hoping, no offense to the others.
Would Ireland be on the... That was just a good guess. I don't know. That was...
Ireland, hopefully it'll get there. We've got a slim chance. We've got to go to the Czech Republic, Czechia, and win that game, and then beat likely Denmark and Dublin.
You would die. You would die if they were here.
I can't wait. I'm thinking about it too much. And then I'm really hoping the reggae boys at Jamaica get in.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. They will bring the fun, they'll bring the party to Atlanta. There's a great Caribbean community here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I think to celebrate the Reggae Boys being back for the first time in the World Cup since 1998, that would be absolutely enormous.
Yeah, I'm gonna cross my fingers that both of these things happen. So that's what we're gonna wish for here. But Kevin, thank you so much for coming. I love that you've signed on to do this on Mondays.
My job is simply to make sure you're aware of what's going on. When the World Cup rolls around, hopefully you've got a few nuggets in your back pocket that you can tell your friends in your coffee shop or your local pub, and you can say, oh, did you hear about Uzbekistan? And you have something to talk about when it comes to these teams, because these communities and these nations and cultures that they're going to bring, the flair, the fun, and the flavor is going to be unlike anything we've ever experienced in this city before. So get ready, join the fun. It's
Here
gonna be
we
great.
go. Kevin Egan hanging with us on this Monday. We will see you next week.
Cheers, Elise.
Thanks as always. Cheers to you. All right, our time is 11:29, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for being with us here on this Monday. Okay, so something big happened last night. You know what I'm talking about. It's the Super Bowl, of course. And Seattle Seahawks fans are flying high, as you can imagine, after winning big. Seahawks fans, known as the 12s for their loud support, took to the streets on Sunday night just to celebrate their victory. The team's 29-13 win over the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60. It was a rematch from more than a decade ago, which ended in a last-second victory for the Patriots. So the win marks the second Super Bowl victory in Seahawks history, the first since 2014. So needless to say, they were ready for this. So while the team celebrates the win at the stadium in Santa Clara, California, many of the 12s are just thankful to be celebrating back in their hometown, and they're excited about what is to come. So celebrations for the Seahawks continue with a championship parade in Seattle, and it looks like that is scheduled for Wednesday. So that should certainly be a lot of fun. And, you know, like we mentioned there, I mean, this was the face-off that was more than a decade in the making. New England Patriots, Seattle Seahawks battled it out on the field last night at Levi's Stadium during their Super Bowl rematch. This time, the Seahawks kept their steady lead from the beginning of the game, and they really didn't give that up. So Fox's Ashley Dvorkin is in Santa Clara, California for us once again with a recap of football's biggest night. And Ashley, what a night it was. Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Elise. What a night for Seahawks fans. As you said, 29-13. And we had such a blast. We were in there. We were watching the game, watching the halftime. And for these teams, this rematch over a decade in the making earned the Seahawks their second Super Bowl trophy. And head coach Mike Macdonald had this to say about his team.
Man, we believed in each other. We loved each other. And now we're world champions.
Well, they were crediting the teamwork, and everybody was celebrating. I don't know if you also have the rest of that, but we have the celebration continuing as the Seahawks head back to Seattle. Oh, you do? Okay, yes, head coach Mike Macdonald.
We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other. And now we're world champions. Take it back to Seattle. You're Super Bowl champs.
The celebration continues as they head back to Seattle. They have a victory parade, which is scheduled for Wednesday, Elise.
Yeah, that's going to be big. That's going to be wild, crazy, all the things. I want to take a break, though, from talking football and talk about the other big show that was happening on the field. Of course, the halftime performance, Ashley. So, I mean, what was that like for you being in the center of all that, being there in person and getting to experience it?
It was fantastic. I've never been inside the stadium for a halftime show, and what was really interesting to watch was all of the setup in advance. And as they were rolling out these incredible set pieces that then come together to tell this story that Bad Bunny was going to tell, he brought Puerto Rico to the Super Bowl, and with many special guests. And we also have, as soon as the dance party started, I was with the crowd, and we were like, oh, okay, who is that? We, Cardi B, Karol G, Jessica Alba, Pedro Pascal, they were all part of the party, and then Lady Gaga, and everyone around me was just like, Gaga! And then we also had Ricky Martin, so there was so much going on, and for me to watch it all happen, it was incredible. And then I was looking online, and I saw on Instagram everybody was asking about the trees, or the trees people, the leaves, and yes, they were, because they were walking off the field. So it was very cool to see it all happen and all come together and be part of the big party, Elise.
Yeah, very much so. Lucky you, and thank you so much for being up today and just, walking us through what you got to experience there, because it certainly seemed like a special night. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin hanging with us today from Santa Clara, California. Ashley, thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right, our time now is 11:35, and we're going to stay on the topic of the Super Bowl just a little bit longer. So Starbucks is offering patrons something today. They want you to wind down from the Super Bowl excitement. A complimentary cup of joe from Starbucks. Participating locations offering rewards members, a free tall brewed hot or iced coffee if you purchase a qualifying beverage. So drink options include a new blend. They say this debuted Monday called the Steak Starbucks, or it must be no, it's the Starbucks 1971 roast. There we go, Starbucks 1971 roast, and they say that this is named after the year the chain opened its first location in Seattle. So if you're maybe feeling a little bit tired and need a boost, then that could be worth popping into Starbucks and getting a free cup of coffee. It looks like those terms apply, though, so make sure you check that out first. All right, we're bringing things back here just a little bit closer to home. We're talking about Kirk Cousins and whether or not he's going to be cut from the Atlanta Falcons. So for about the last season and a half, there's been this glaring question facing the team, and that is, of course, regarding quarterback Kirk Cousins. He was benched in favor of first-round rookie Michael Penix Jr. in 2024. We all remember this. There was uncertainty whether Cousins would be back on the team this past season, but it was actually an injury from Michael Penix Jr. in 2025, and suddenly Atlanta was back to what we'll call musical chairs at quarterback with a big question mark here. Kirk Cousins, though, ended up finishing the season. But what does 2026 have in store? I mean, this is what people are talking about, and this is what fans are wondering. So according to a report from an NFL insider, Adam Schefter, looks like the Falcons will be releasing Kirk Cousins. This is what he's saying. This isn't what the Falcons are saying. They say ahead of the new league year in March. So Cousins had reportedly restructured his contract in order to modify his base salary for the upcoming season. The rest of his salary, though, would be guaranteed if Cousins remained on the Falcons roster at the start of the league year. So if this does end up being the case, you can expect Atlanta to be in the backup quarterback market, trying to get someone else on the roster. So with Michael Penix Jr. scheduled to start the season coming back from injury. So again, not a definitive answer here from the Falcons, but an NFL insider is claiming the Falcons will be releasing Kirk Cousins. So there you have it. It is 11:38, and we're back with more for you right after this. Welcome back, everyone. 11:40 now. So higher prices and financing costs are reshaping the way Americans shop for cars, and it's stretching out the research process just a little bit, making it actually quite a bit longer. Cars.com data shows buyers now spend up to 6 weeks comparing models, reading reviews, and calculating payments before they pull the trigger, really before they even step foot onto a lot, which is pretty interesting. So Cars.com released its 2026 Best of Awards. So that's what we are taking a look at today. Here to talk about it more is Mike Hanley. He is Senior Road Test Editor for Cars.com. So Mike, thanks for being on with us. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Hey, so let's dive into this. I mean, this is so interesting that Americans are doing more research before they even start to shop for a car. So how do you think it is that these higher prices, and we mentioned the financing cost, how is it changing the way that we approach this process?
Well, buying a new car is such a big decision for so many families, and especially with the average new car price of approaching $50,000 right now. It's a really big expense, and there are tons of choices out there in the new car market. So the Best of 2026 awards are really designed to give car shoppers who haven't shopped for a new car in a while a starting point in their car search.
So let's get into it. I mean, you've seen where things fall. You've seen the reporting and the numbers. So any surprises, any big takeaways from you from what was found?
I think our best car of the year might come across as a surprise to some people. It's the Nissan Leaf. It's a fully electric vehicle, but Nissan has transformed it from kind of that conventional commuter vehicle to a really stylish crossover. It offers really good range, a lot of neat features, and it comes at a really affordable starting price of less than $32,000. So really designed to address consumer affordability.
Yeah, and I mean, along those lines, and we'll get to a few more of the cars that are featured on the list too. I mean, let's talk about how buyers are prioritizing that. It's shocking to me when I hear you say that the average price of a car now is over $50,000. That is wild, and it's got to be on the minds of so many Americans right now.
It definitely is, and it's partly because of what consumers are buying. Definitely larger SUVs and pickup trucks are more expensive, and that's kind of driving the average. But there are more affordable options out there if consumers kind of take time to look at the vehicles that are available to them and really focus on what their everyday needs for the vehicle are going to be versus what they may only occasionally do. They could get a better price there too.
Mm-hmm. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the list, if you're able to share that with us, Mike. And
Sure.
You mentioned the Nissan Leaf being at the top. What else was on the list?
So our best pickup truck of the year was the Ram 1500. For 2026, Ram brought back the Hemi V8. It was something they dropped briefly, but truck shoppers wanted it. It's a great all-around pickup, a lot of different trim levels to meet different needs. The Hyundai Santa Fe is our best family car of 2026. It's a 3-row vehicle, but it's not as large as some of the big ones out there. Still a lot of room inside for people and cargo. An affordable starting price of around $37,000. Also comes with a hybrid powertrain. And after that, the Nissan Armada, our best SUV of the year. Trims for on-road performance, or if you're more interested in off-roading, it has really great towing capability of more than 8,000 pounds. So if you have a boat or a camper, it's a good fit. And our best electric vehicle, the Kia EV9, it's a 3-row family vehicle that offers all the convenience of a 3-row crossover SUV if you want that electric powertrain. And finally, our best luxury car of the year, Cadillac Escalade IQ, another electric vehicle that brings all the presence and style of the gas-powered Escalade to the electric vehicle space.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting here. So, I mean, what is it? I mean, when you're trying to rank all these vehicles, and there's a lot of great ones out there. I mean, what is it that separates these from the rest?
I think these have some really great features that are useful in everyday life. Going back to the Santa Fe, it offers dual wireless phone chargers for front seat occupants, so you don't have to share with your front passenger. A dual opening console lid in the Santa Fe too, so it's easy to access storage from the first or second row. Some of those little touches really matter when you have a vehicle and use it day in and day out.
Yeah, certainly so. So what would be your advice for shoppers who are, they're looking for a new car, a truck, a van? I mean, what would you tell them to keep in mind if they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the pricing and financing and all the things when it comes to shopping?
I think it really comes back to having a game plan before you get to the dealership lot, and that means thinking through what are those things you need a vehicle for, you're going to use it every day. What are your must-have features versus those nice-to-have features, because options can really increase the price of a new car significantly, and having that price range that's going to work for your budget so that when you're at the dealership, you can get an out-the-door price. That's an important number. It takes in all the taxes, all the fees, any trade-in value you might have. It's a single number that is the total for the vehicle you're looking at, and that's very useful when you go to compare an offer between different dealerships.
Okay, well, most importantly, before we let you get out of here, Mike, where can we go to see the full list again, to read up more, and to get some advice if we're in the market for a car?
Sure, you can go to cars.com/awards to see all of the award winners and more information on them, and also to find them for sale near you.
All right, some very helpful info for us. Mike Hanley, Senior Road Test Editor for Cars.com. Mike, thank you so much for being on the stream with us today. We appreciate your insight.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Our time now is 11:47, and we're back right after this. Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back. 11:49 now. Well, a long-anticipated aquatic center is moving forward in its development process. So let's find out more about it. We have our Chris Rosenthal, who's joining us live with the latest on all this. Hey, Chris. Ooh, that looks fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this definitely can't use it quite yet, but this summertime this will be a lot of fun here in Henry County, the Henry County Aquatic Center. It's an active construction site right now. They are working away, building it. There's a wave rider area. This is a lazy river area, and you know, this is a $50 million SPLOST project here that they've been working on since February 2024, and getting it up and running. This is just the outside area. I'm joined by Jonathan here with the county. Jonathan, first of all, tell me just, this is only part of it, but tell me what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so right here we have the zero entry kiddie area for the kids to swim and all their fun apparatus and water splashing down on their heads and things like that. We also have a lazy river that goes around. We also have an outdoor pool where you can play outdoor volleyball, pool basketball, things like that. And then these awesome slides out here. You know, you got each one designated by a different color, but they're big, huge slides for everyone to have fun and come down into the water. We also have a lot of the cabanas here for people to use. You know, we're in Georgia, so we have hot summer days, and so you can rent those areas out for a covered, nice outdoor experience.
And it's a nice area for, you know, we can walk up this way some, but that's a nice area for parents as well to hang out while their kids are playing out here in the pool, huh?
Yes, yes. Like I said, you can rent it, hang out, chill. You know, parents gonna be on their phone watching whatever while their kids are in there splashing, having fun. You know, it's gonna be a lot of fun out here.
Because there will be lifeguards, of course, huh?
Plenty of lifeguards. We have a huge staff of lifeguards that we're going to be hiring for this facility, and to the tune of personnel for this facility is going to be about $1.1 million, so that we make sure that everyone's safe, the facility's covered, and we're doing what we need to do.
And I'm just going to do one last look back as we're going to go into the inside part of this here, but you're going to be one of the first to ride that, huh, when it opens, huh?
That's what I'm told, man. Everyone wants me to put on my bathing suit and go down the slide first, so I will be the one going down that slide.
I think you should. You put a lot into this. So, yeah, $1.1 million. So this is also going to provide some jobs here, huh?
Yes, it will. We're looking to get those onboarded very soon. So once we open in late May, early June, we'll be ready to rock and roll for all the residents of Henry County, as well as anyone in the region that wants to come to this wonderful facility.
And nothing quite like this in Henry County, huh?
No, there isn't. This will be the only aquatics facility in Henry County.
And we're going inside here. This is, you know, because it's not just outside, it's inside here.
This is the actual aquatic center outdoors with the water park. And as you can see, this is our competitive 50-meter Olympic-sized pool. Huge, huge pool. We'll be doing a lot of swim meets in here, competitive meets. A lot of the schools will be able to utilize this facility as well. So stadium seating, very, very nice facility for competitions.
Because I understand schools don't have any pools, right?
They don't. They actually go outside of the county to practice right now for their teams.
So this will give a local place for those schools,
correct,
to come. This will be active, really.
Yes, very active. We'll have, like I said, the school in here, other swim teams in here. We'll have classes in here. So, you know, everyone will be able to come and enjoy it. But it's not only this competitive pool. We come over here to this side. We also have a community pool, warming pool, 25-meter pool that everyone can use right over here.
Wow. Yeah, so that's kind of a smaller version of that, but that's another place people can come. Maybe if you're not a competitive, but you want to enjoy. Just enjoy the water, huh?
Exactly. And this area, of course, indoors is open all year round. The water park will be seasonal, of course, because of the weather. But residents and everyone will be able to enjoy this all year round.
Gotcha. And I know you don't have the prices yet, but talk to me about how people can use this.
Yeah, so there will be entry fees, but they'll also be able to get memberships like they do at any of our other facilities. There will be a resident fee and then an out-of-county fee, like similar structure to all of our other facilities and programs that we offer.
Gotcha. And, you know, this is, I mean, you can see it taking shape.
Yes.
Obviously here.
Yes.
When do you plan it to be open?
At the end of May, beginning of June is when we're looking to open. We are on schedule as of right now with the construction, and we are very excited to be ready to open around that time.
So just right in time for summer.
Yes, right in time for that summer opening.
What are you expecting? Are you expecting a lot of people here?
I'm expecting an overwhelming number of people because, like we said earlier, this is the only thing in this area. And so we're going to get a lot of people that's going to come to this facility.
And we can, I mean, this area here, what will this be here?
So this is one of our other community rooms that's overlooking the park. And we got a little treat once we go upstairs that's above this area as well, but this area overlooks the water park, and you can rent out that space.
Yeah, you can get a really good look at it here and see that. I mean, there's a lot of room here. And one of the things I really like that I think is really cool is you got the lake there. You got the nice backdrop.
Yeah, that's a beautiful touch. This property was formerly owned by the county. It is owned by the county, so we didn't have to acquire this property. And this lake just gives us a beautiful view of the water park. Like, you're standing here, you're at a water park, you get that lake view over there, so it's a wonderful view.
Awesome. So again, they're looking to open this May, just end of May, early June, just in time for summer. And I'll tell you, we're going to stick around and tour this area a little bit more throughout the day.
What a treat for folks in Henry County. This looks amazing, Chris. So thank you so much for giving us a first look at that. That's going to be pretty exciting when that gets open. All right. Well, our time now is 11:56, and I think that'll do it for us. Is that right? Thank you so much for being with us here on this Monday. Be sure to stick around for more news and weather at noon. We'll see you then.
Fox 5 News at noon starts right now.
Police are searching for 3 suspects wanted for shooting a 10-year-old in what they call a targeted attack. And a 19-year-old woman found shot multiple times behind a Dollar General. This afternoon, a suspect is in custody. We'll tell you what we know about that person. Alex?
We've got what we're calling fake spring on the way this afternoon.